will be about creating object number 4 from plate 5.32 using SketchUp, but a different version of it. This version is a browser-based version, and so the way you access this is you get a new tab on Google, and then you go under here to this waffle, and you scroll down, and you want SketchUp for Schools. Now SketchUp for Schools is loading at this point. And as it says, it's browser based, so it's got to download the information from a web browser. Want to create a new file. Let's go with feet and inches, simple template. Okay, so here we are. Toolbar is a little different here. We still have the origin point. Let's see, there is your rectangle tool. We need to get set up with how long this object is. I see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 halves, which is be 3.5 by 1.5 inches. 1, 2, 3 halves. So I'm going to go ahead and type in that data there, create a rectangle. Said it was 3.5 inches, comma 1.5. Okay, I'm going to take my select tool, I'm going to delete. Zoom tool is right up here if you're using your mouse pad, but I'm using a mouse here, so I'm zooming in on this. Push pull is right here. We need to see how thick the base pad is. So the base pad is 2/4 or 1/2 inch. So push pull 0.50. Now we want to go ahead and get this portion of it, this upright tower kind of thing, and I see the total width of it is 1/2, 2 halves, 3 halves by 1/2 inch wide. Oops. So I'm going to create another rectangle starting here in the back left corner. It's 1.5 inches long, comma 1/2 inch. Whoops. Let's undo that. Your undo button's right there. Let's try that again. Rectangle tool. 1.5 inches, comma 0.5. Alright, there we go. Now looking back on the thing here, I see this little flat spot here is 1/2 inch tall. So I'm going to go back to push pull, which is right here, and push pull this up 0.5 inches. And now if we look back on this here, we've got a 1/2 inch little flat spot here on top, so I'm going to create a guideline. So guideline tool, tape measure 0.5 inches over, and I'm going to divide the face with a straight line. Now checking back on here, I see the total height of this here is 3/4. So flipping back, I'm going to push pull this up 3/4 of an inch. And then we got this part that comes over the top. It's a 1/2 inch thick. So, whoops, we're going to go ahead and get that squared away. Tape measure, 1/2 inch thick. And then I'm going to divide the face here. And I'm going to push pull this out using my inference right here. I want this to be the same size as this edge right here. Alright, so that looks pretty good there. I think I'm going to stop there and do the second part with the holes. Be back in a minute. Okay, back for the second part here, the last part, which is just to take care of the holes in this. There's 3 holes. If we take a look here on the sketching exercise, we can see they're right there. 1 in the top part and then 2 in the base pad. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flip back. I want to get rid of these. There's your erase tool. I'm going to get rid of these guidelines that I've created. I'm going to take the top hole first. So looking at the top there, the whole center is a 1/2 inch back from the front, which means, well, that's where the whole center is, and it's also centered from left to right. So that's a pretty straightforward arrangement. So we're going to go ahead and take the tape measure tool again, and we're going to measure over half the total distance using the midpoint snap, and then I'm going to go up 0.5 inches here from front to back. Now where those X marks the spot there, I'm going to create a circle. Now your circle's underneath your rectangle, so I just choose that, and then I go ahead, it's a 1/2 inch diameter rectangle, so it's 0.25 radius. Alright, so there's that. I'm going to use push-pull here to go ahead and push-pull this downward. There we go, push-pull. Alright, subtract that away. Let's get rid of these guidelines. We no longer need those. Let's focus in on the second set of holes there. Now the holes from front to back, you can see here by these, it's centered from front to back. These holes share a common center line. And then this one here is, the whole center is a 1/2 inch back, and then from this edge right here to the right, it's a 1/2 inch back. So what I'm going to do is take my tape measure tool, create some guidelines here, midpoint snap, 1/2 inch from this side, and then I'm going to rotate this around a little bit, and from this point here, which is the reference point, I want to go this way 0.5 inches. Alright, now all I have to do now is create a couple of holes there, a couple radius holes, 1/4 inch radius. I'm recording. And then all I have to do is just subtract them. Okay. Okay, well, here we go. Last bit of this here. What I'd like for us to do here is clean up the model here, getting ready for saving. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of erase these lines here. And before we actually save, though, there's some things we have to prepare. We have to go to our Google Drive. So go ahead and open up another tab on your browser there. Make sure you go under here, the waffle here, and go on a drive, and that way you'll get to your Google Drive. What I did is I created a SketchUp folder in here, and that's really easy. Just go under New, and then the first option is Folder. Create that, name the folder SketchUp. I've already created one, so I'm not going to create another one, so I'm just going to cancel that, but you'd name it SketchUp right here, and then cancel, or go ahead and create in your case. And so once we have that SketchUp folder, now we have a spot for this to be saved at. So now we can go back to SketchUp for Schools, and we can go ahead and do the save option. It's up here in the upper left-hand corner. And so we'll just take save, and it wants a name. So we will say something like E-Learning 5.32-4. And I'm going to click OK. There we go. All right, so it asks, well, what folder do you want to save it to? Well, we've got to save it somewhere, so we're going to save it to our SketchUp that we created earlier, and then I just click Select. All right, so let's try a different name. Let's see, E-Learning 5.32-4. Let's call it W. All right, click OK. Once again, it's going to ask us about what folder. Click Select. So it's saving the file. Yeah, see, it's saving right up here. It says save. Now, when this is saved here. Oh, okay. So that's saving it. Now we want to go ahead and export this out. So the way we do that is we go up to the file folder here in the upper left-hand corner, go to the file, and then we want to export. And the option we want is a PNG. So I'm going to click that. So there's my PNG. That's the preview, and that looks fine. But underneath where my picture is there's a button that says Export PNG. And so what I'm going to want to do is just click on that to go ahead and export that out. All right, now here's an important thing. We want to show this in folder, okay? And what's happening is this file is going to your download folder, but we want it to be in the top level of your Google Drive. So what I'm doing here, there's my e-learning, and I want to drag it by clicking and dragging it into my files right here, or Google Drive, I think would be a better one. All right, so there we go. And so we can close that out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Canvas assignment page, which hopefully everyone knows how to do that. I'm going to submit the assignment. And when I get to the assignment submission window there, I want to go ahead and choose the file upload there, choose file. So we go ahead and choose file. All right, so what I'm looking for is I'm going through here and I'm seeing all these skip files, and I don't want those. Well, let's go to my drive. Let's see what. All right, there we go. There it is, e-learning 5.32-4T. Maybe that's not the one I just did. Maybe it is. But anyway, what's the important part is I see that it's a PNG because that's the only file type that can be uploaded to Canvas. So I'm just going to select that, and I'm going to, can't really see it there, but underneath that. And so you see here, I review it, 5.32 PNG, and I'm going to submit the assignment just like that. Okay, so it says submitted. Everything's good to go. All right, well, good luck with this, and we'll talk to you very soon.